Punk Rock Cooking Show. My name's Billy. I'm going to be cooking this dog today. We're going to stuff her with onions and garlic and baste her in gravy. What do you think about that, kid? MK Ultra.
Hey kids, you might be asking yourself, how did that guy get to be an old crusty punk?
Hey, welcome to Punk Rock Cooking Show. I'm Billy, old crusty punk, with a knife. That's dangerous. I'm going to put it down. I cut someone. Cut myself. Don't want that to happen. Anyways, today's episode 2. We're going to make green smoothie. It makes my skin fresh, my vibe fresh. Anyways, that's right. That's how an old crusty punk gets to be an old crusty punk, because they take care of themselves. It's important these days with what they're putting into our food and water. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like the video, and add comments down below, because I'd like to hear from you. If there's something you want to see me cook or something else you want to see me do, I might do it, I might not. Depends on what you're asking. Really, come on. Keep it clean, folks, okay? It's like a big green milkshake. Anyways, but you want this high-powered blender. It's an Oster blender. I'm not promoting them. I don't really care. It's all materialism. A blender's a blender. Just get a powerful blender. Hey kids! You might be asking yourself, how'd that old crusty punk get to be an old crusty punk? I got to be an old crusty punk because of one reason. I take care of myself. And that is making green smoothies. Welcome to Concrete. So let's go ahead and get started on making the green smoothie. No time like the present. We're only getting older and crustier, so we might as well try and knock that back a few years if we can. And you're going to do that by eating your fruits and vegetables and doing organics whenever you can. I know they're expensive. Wait, doing organics whenever you can. I do whatever I can when the shit hits the fan. You tell me what that song lyric is too, and I'll send you a special gift. And I'll do my best to make that happen. And I'll do my best to make that happen. MK Ultra. Down in the comments below, put what that song lyric comes from, and I'll send you a special gift. And that is for the first person who does it, not the 100 other bozos who look at the guy who was first that did it, and then you guys think you're going to get a free gift, because you ain't getting a free gift. Only the first guy or gal that puts that down in the comments. So I do whatever I can until the shit hits the fan. I think that's it. Yeah, think about it. You'll figure it out. We do whatever we can until the shit hits the fan. Do wop wop wop, say what, yeah. What song, lyric, movie did that come out of? Come on, if you're a punk, you should know this shit. Hey, welcome to Punk Rock Cooking Show. Doesn't mean I'm going to eat it either. Oh my God. Remember, kids, play it safe. Shit, I don't know what the hell that was. Anyways, welcome back to Green Smoothie. Hey! So anyways, I'm back with you again. I kind of lost my head there. MK Ultra! Wanagi, you think I'm crazy? I think so. Alright, so hey, listen. The most important thing about your smoothie is that the ingredients that you put into it. Because you're going to get out of what you put in. You've heard that before, right? You get out of what you put in, right? Well, it's the same thing with the green smoothie. So the most important thing is nutrients.
So hey kiddos, you ready to get started? Let's go!
So in our smoothie today, we're going to be using carrots, spinach, kale. I usually use red kale because green kale, just the straight green kale, is bitter. It makes it really bitter, but the red kale doesn't do that. And then cilantro, ginger, garlic, fresh chunk of garlic, some protein powder, and some other powders, cacao, turmeric, magnesium, all sorts of stuff like that. And it does matter what you put in your green smoothie. If you're putting ice cream in there and all that other crud, sure, it tastes good, tastes a lot better, but come on now. That's not what you want to be doing. If you want to be an old crusty punk, listen to Billy. I'll help you be an old crusty punk. You young punks want to be old crusty punks? You listen to Billy.
And you know what else helps? Is lots of vitamins and minerals. And you know where you get minerals from, don't you? From metal! Studs and spikes! That's right, kids! Filled with magnesium, nickel, chrome, all sorts of good metals. And those metals will do you good, kids. So make sure you eat lots of them every day. That's your public service announcement from an old crusty punk.
So what we're going to start with right now is to throw some nutrients in there. And like I said before, it's what you put in is what you get out. And the important part is I use these English tall 7-7 cones. They're high in magnesium. And that magnesium is really good for your bones. So make sure you...
Put a good portion of those in there in that green smoothie, and that's going to pay off in the long run. Trust me, kids.
I won't steer you wrong.
Trust Bill. He's an old crusty punk, and I didn't get this way from messing around. This is my disclaimer. Don't really do that, kids, because that metal will break your teeth.
So let's get started. We'll get our ingredients in here and get this smoothie going. So the first thing is garlic. I usually get a big ass clove of this stuff at the store. It's organic. So hopefully it is organic. But anyways, it's already peeled a piece. Nice big chunk. Nice big chunk of garlic.
I'm going to throw that in there. That's to start with. And, you know, I'll give it a little...
So the reason why I just did that with the garlic, threw that chunk in there and cut it all up without anything else in there, is because actually the garlic, when you cut it up first, you want to let it sit for like 30 seconds to a minute because the oxygenation.
Oxidization! Oh my God, that's a big word for an old crusty punk.
Oh my God. Anyways, so the reason why I threw that piece of garlic in there first without anything else in there and then blended it up was because what
happens is that oxygen and the air in the air with that garlic causes a chemical reaction in the garlic, and it actually creates I don't really know what it creates, but I was told it was good to do because it's a cancer, takes away cancer, helps with fighting cancer stuff. Not that I have cancer, but it's just one of those things I do because I was told it helps, and so that's what I do.
But anyways, it oxidizes the garlic outside of it with that air, and it only takes like 30 seconds to a minute to happen, and it causes a reaction, a chemical reaction causes with the garlic, and it's actually an anti-cancer thing. I found that out from a good hippie friend of mine I knew. I learned about the green smoothie from a good hippie friend I knew. Hippies aren't all bad. They smell, but so do some of us crusty punks. We got a little odor to us too. All right, let's get started putting our ingredients in. What we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and get in the fridge and get one of our first ingredients. So we're going to start off with carrots, organic carrots. I usually just put a good handful of them in there. Cilantro! You can do any order with these vegetables, by the way. So I like cilantro. Cilantro supposedly also helps remove heavy metals. And we don't want to get rid of too much of the heavy metal because heavy metal's close to punk. But you know what I'm talking about. So let's stuff that down in there. And next is, let's see, red kale. Woo! I usually use red kale instead of green kale because green kale is bitter. And you want to use the stems. I don't use the very end of the stem, but most of the stem, that actually also removes heavy metals out of the body. And we're talking the bad heavy metals that they put in our water and in our food. Throw an extra one in there for good resolve. There we go. Hi! And then finally, we're into the spinach. And I'm going to have to go to the store and get more eventually, but we got enough to make our green smoothie here. And I just use the baby leaf spinach, the little babies. Pack that down. We can probably finish this off. go. That'll wait until later. We got our carrots, cilantro, red kale, and then the baby spinach leaves, and all of that is organic. You just can't be too careful. So, and then we have our garlic in there. So what we're going to do next now, we're going to start adding some of these powder stuff. So what we got here, it's a mystery. Oh, this is called maca powder, M-A-C-A-H or something like that. I don't know. Maca powder, anyways. And what this is from the Aztecs. Anyways, maca powder. About a tablespoon of that. Then I use this raw organic protein powder. It doesn't have any flavor. That vanilla shit, oh my god, and that chocolate shit, really in a green smoothie probably make me yeah. Anyway, so I just put a nice scoop of that. This stuff's got probiotics in it, all sorts of other goody stuff. But this brand is a pretty good brand. I like it, and it's got all sorts of ingredients in there. You can read the back, but we won't do that right now. Then the next one is turmeric. Yes, from India. Turmeric's actually good for inflammation and all sorts of other stuff, but it definitely gives it a little spice. Nice yellow powder, pretty nice. And then the final is cacao, what chocolate comes from. It's pretty good stuff. I always like to add a bunch of that in there. It's actually got some caffeine in it too, which gives you a little pump up, I guess. Anyways, so powders are done. And the other thing a friend shared with me, she gave me this Mega Mag. It's magnesium. Yes, you can get it from metal, but that's kind of unpleasant. So I usually put a good dropper load in there. And this stuff is pretty amazing. It says heart, energy, calm mood, digestion, anti-muscle cramps.
MK Ultra! Yes, folks, this is it. Straight from the CIA. This will make you a bae. It'll make you a good government puppet. We like to put that in our green smoothie because it's all about conforming to society.
So then the next thing we're going to do is add some orange juice. And you know, the secret is that all this orange juice is pretty much made by the same people. There's a few manufacturers, and they have these huge, like, silo looking things, and they fill it with this stuff, and it just sits there, and they wait for the prices to fluctuate before they produce it. It's another big marketing scam. They're trying to pull the wool over our eyes, so to speak, pull the oranges over our eyes. But I just put a little bit in there, enough for a couple cups of orange juice basically, and then we'll add some liquid to it. But what we got in here now, we've got our garlic that we ground up first, then we got our carrots, we got our cilantro, red kale, not green kale, because green kale, remember, that is bitter. And we don't want to be bitter, we want to be good, okay? Anyways, and then you got the spinach leaves. We put our powders in there, and we put some orange juice concentrate in there.
And what we're going to use is our ginger infused water. Yes, kids, that's right. Ginger infused water. Let me show you how I make that.
Ginger, yes. And you can do this several ways. What you can do is you can take the ginger, and I get, again, organic ginger, because you don't want the shit that's grown out of side of the nuclear power plant in China that's all the size of frickin' cats.
What we do, we want to make thin slices out of that without cutting off a finger, because that wouldn't be good. This stuff is good stuff.
And you can actually add a couple chunks in there if you want to, but what I do, I actually have a pot on my stove full of spring water.
Is our boil twice ginger water, and I use fresh spring water that's filtered water, and then I cut up fresh ginger, that would be organic ginger, put it in there, and I boil it once, let it cool down, and boil it a second time. And what this does is it brings all the nutrients and the flavor of water, and it really gives that green smoothie a real zest, or a zappy, or a...
Is the water's got this kind of a reddish tint to it, you see that? That's our ginger infused water. We're just going to go ahead and add that till it comes up to about the layer of the top of those vegetables there. So just a little more. Right about there, just when it starts floating. So what we're going to do next now is we're going to go ahead and boil this up. So, boil this up. Did I just say that? MK Ultra! No, kids, we're going to blend it up.
You know what I'm talking about. Come on, kids. This ain't rocket science. So she's all done, so we're gonna go ahead and pour this bad burner in. Sometimes I give it a little last minute zap.
Get her all mixed up. Make sure all that drippy goodness is there.
Hey, so we got our green smoothie done. Looks great, doesn't it?
I ain't drinking this shit. Oh my god, are you kidding me? There's no way I'm drinking this shit.
So here we go, bottoms up. Yum. Oh, yummy. Really. Oh, it's so good. No, I'm kidding. It's actually pretty good. I love these things. I'd rather have this than a milkshake. No joke. At first, it kind of took me a while to get used to it. You know? But the more I have it, the more I crave it. And it actually really gives me energy. It makes me really feel good inside and outside. It's amazing. I don't know what the deal is, but hey, you want to be an old crusty punk? Take it from me, an old crusty punk. This is how you become an old crusty punk. By taking care of yourself, kids. So, you young punks out there, start now. Yeah, that's good shit. Hey, join us next week for the Punk Rock Cooking Show when I cook my dog. MK Ultra. So that concludes this episode of Punk Rock Kitchen. Fuck. Hey, so thanks for joining us Punk Rock Cooking Show this week. I'm Billy, Old Crusty Punk, and we'll be back next week with something spectacular. Can't wait. I think we're doing pizza next week. Yeah, homemade pizza. What punk doesn't like pizza? You're a punk if you don't like pizza. Or I should say something different because we're all punks. Hey, so that concludes this episode of Punk Rock Kitchen. Thanks for joining me again this week. And if you have any questions about that green smoothie I made, ingredients or anything like that, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like the video. Make any comments about other things you'd like to see me cook or make in the future. I might do that, I might not. Just depends on what you put down there. Seriously. Oh my God. Like I can just imagine. Hey, Wanagi, come here. Wanagi. You want a cookie? Come here. Come on. Come here. Come here.
Hey, thanks again for joining us with Punk Rock Cooking Show. I'm Billy, an old crusty punk. We'll see you next week. You guys just hang out in there. I'll get back to you later.